Hi, my name is William, and I've done this little video to show the work I've been doing and some of the tools I've been using over the past year. I think many of the skills I have will be directly transferable to work I could help with on the open source ecology farm. Enjoy! Okay, well, the sound has not worked, so I'm going to dub this recording. This is me going up the Chimney Stack. You can see here where we broke through the gantry with breaker to fit the alimac through. The alimac is the big lift I've just come up in. I've stopped at this level just to have a brief look there. Now I've carried on and we're coming up to the frame deck, or frame decks. This is the top of the chimney stack, about 137 meters high. And I'm just coming up to the gates here where I go through to get onto the frame deck, and there's a bucket of our tools, trowel, wire brush, spirit level, among others. Here you can see some of the block work we've been doing. A few blocks I laid there just earlier, and from the inside, the big metal red orange structure inside is the heat shield, which we put in place to basically keep the chimney in operation whilst we rebuild the top 15 foot. Sticking my hand out there just to feel the heat of it. It's not that hot, but it's definitely warm. Here's a load of spot welding I did to weld the rebar together, the vertical rebar with the horizontal rebar there, which strengthens the block work. And at the top, welded on little bits of tube to extend the rebar. I'll go into more detail about that in a bit. And down the gap in the middle, we pour slurry mix. There we go. There's the top of the rebar. Slot the next bits on later and weld it up, extend it upwards. Yeah, that's the ladder leading down one of the sides. And here you can see the green Deborah netting. The green netting, which I hung ropes from the top from, and then had to abseil down and reach out to tie it off to the scaffold. Again, I'll talk about that again in a minute. You can see the valley we're in, Hope Valley, in the middle of England, in the Peak District. A very nice valley, which has very big cement factory works in the middle of it. Just looking down from 137 meters up down towards the ground there, you can see the ladder. And now we move to the top. Here at the top, on the fourth frame deck, I think, you can get a better view of the scaffold. Lots of bracing in place to hold the heat shield, or to make sure the heat shield doesn't move in the wind or the pressure from below. And we've had no problems with it. Looking down, you can see the cable ties there, the zip ties that are strapped tight to the scaffold to hold the green netting in place, which stops anything from falling to the ground. Stops bits from falling to the ground. Then looking along and down the alimac, the lift. Alimac is the brand, the maker of that lift there we have. And you can look down to the gantry. You can see where we broke through. We literally cut a big hole in the gantry to fit the alimac through, which we built up. Took us a week and a bit, I think, to build the whole thing up the side of the chimney stack. It was a new experience for us, but it was fun. Going on to the tools. Here we have angle grinder, the electric welding transformer, toolboxes, tools, various drills, the breakers in there somewhere, a few hoses, general equipment hanging off the sides, and cement and lime, you can see there too. Oh, someone's harness on the floor. Have to hang that up later if it hasn't been done already. I'm sure it has. What else do we have in here? Oh yes, the rebar. see that again in a minute. Here we have the band, the metal, our mixer, our cement mixer, and here we go. I'm back to the rebar. This is just steel bars, steel rods, which we had to grind the ends down to fit the tube on, and then weld it there, just where I pointed to. Here's some I welded earlier. So you weld the tube to the end like that, and then they slot together to build up the rebar to reinforce the top 15 foot of the chimney, which we're rebuilding. It's a team of 4 of us on average working on this job. Here we have sharp sand for the slurry mix, which we pour down in between the blocks to reinforce the blocks, and that is just regular sand for the cement mix to lay the blocks. And here are the blocks all lying about. Bit of horizontal rebar there, ready to go up on the next lift to be welded in place. And the tape band that came off the previous 15 foot of brickwork that we took down before we started to rebuild. That was the steel tape there that held it all together. That was bracing it together. Here we have one of our winches, which we're not using at the moment. You can see down there in the corner the winch, which we bolted to the ground with expansion bolts, and goes up to that cat head there, which is a scaffold structure we put up to winch things up to the gantry. And if you look up here, you can see the you can see the roller coaster like running Alimac track that leads up the stack with all the scaffold in place that holds it to the stack. That was a new experience for us. A couple of colleagues went on a course to learn how to assemble it, and we worked along with the guy who sold us the Alimac to put it in place. And I think that's enough. I think we're gonna finish right there. Thank you.